Okay, y'all, I am back. And no, I don't know who she's barking at. That's not Daddy. I think he's already left. We're about to get some nasty, nasty weather, and praise God, it's going to rain. So I could not be more excited about that because we haven't had rain in several days. So I'm going to move over to the other side behind me to the stove, and I want to show you something real quick. So let's come over here. Now, because I have granite countertops, I am absolutely scared to death, honestly, of putting anything that gets hot on my granite countertops. These countertops haven't been sealed since they pretty much were installed, and my stone guy that came yesterday is going to do that for me, so I don't have to do that. But I have plugs. I love this kitchen, y'all. I'm telling you, it's 3 times the kitchen that I used to have, or that I did have. And I only had one plug on a 12-foot long kitchen for one outlet on my entire kitchen. Oh, it was ridiculous. But here I have outlets freaking everywhere. So what I'm doing is plugging in my outlet, plugging it into the first outlet right there, and setting it on my stove. So if it gets hot, it won't damage my counter, and I don't have to freak out or worry about moving a piece of wood. We have a lot of wood here because I have removed some of my shelves and my doors. So I've taken these doors off. So I'm not hurting for wood. But anyway, and anybody that's seen my daddy's pole barn knows we're not hurting for wood there either. So just wanted to show you, I set it on top of my stove. It can get as hot as it wants, and I'm going to push it all the way back. And the reason being, I have a vent for my oven that is right here. And so when I get my dinner in the oven for this evening, I don't want to set my crock pot over that vent. It needs to work for me, and it needs to be able to steam and work. So I want to make sure to leave that place open, but I can let my crock pot sit here, and if you look at it, I've already got it turned on high, and I'm going to get it hot by adding my apple juice. Now, you are going to add apple juice to, sorry y'all, I had some zucchini peeling on my hand. So the apple juice is going to be added to your zooks right here. And so when I'm warming up my crock pot and I'm trying to get the inner crock hot, and I've done this for 30 years, I've always preheated my crock pot, no matter what I cook in it. I always try to put, if it's a spaghetti sauce, I try to add a little bit of red wine or vinegar, or not vinegar, but red wine or Merlot or Marsala, and put that in there just so the crock doesn't get hot and it won't shatter the crock. You want to have some kind of liquid in here when you're heating it up. And right now it's getting really, really hot. The crock and the top, no, it's not even there yet. So I'm going to pour about a cup of apple juice, and then I will judge from that cup. Once I get my zucchini and my apples in my crock pot, I'm going to judge if I need to put a little bit more applesauce or apple juice. So I'm going to get that poured out here in just a second. Okay, so let me grab my apple juice. I got my measuring cup right here, and I need 1 cup of apple juice. And this is what I'm talking about when I said that make sure you get all of your ingredients and your supplies all out at the same time. First thing, that way you are more than prepared for getting everything together. Everything is at hand reach. I have my tea over here, my water that I go to after my cup of tea, and I have all of my utensils, measuring cup, measuring spoons. I have everything ready to go. Show you what I mean? That is my basket. That is my basket. There's my hand blender, all my spices, my measuring utensils. I have a 2-cup measuring cup. I have my teaspoons. I have my chopsticks, and I'll show you what those are for later. And then there's all my spices. I have everything in this little basket ready to go for me. So I love doing this. This is my favorite thing in the world to do, is to make anything for my family, no matter what it is. So, but I also like knowing that I can get everything out and get myself ready and prepared. So I'm going to get started over here on these apples. So let me turn my camera on the side. There we are. So we're going to set it back on my stand. We're going to turn it to selfie. Ooh, there we are. Okay. So I'm going to turn around real quick and pour this into my crock pot. Well, I may need another cup. Once I get that zucchini in there, I may have to add one or actually two more cups. Who knows? But right now, I've got enough in there that my crock can get hot. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to open up this bag that I did last night. This is the zucchini, and it will probably, well, I know it will because I prepped all of this last night in this bowl. So I know that it will go ahead and work for me there. I see, hold on, y'all. I'm seeing some seeds. I'm going to get out of there real quick. I had one zucchini that was curled, literally like a C. And let me tell you, getting pulp out of that puppy was, kind of like trying to get a child to take Robitussin, or as my husband would say, me and my son, because we make some of the craziest faces. And I think one of these was fighting me. So, I want to make sure I get these seeds out. So I don't want that in my... I'm going to look these over when I add it to the crock pot, but I'm not going to do that on the video. So let me get the rest of my zucchini we just cut before we get started on these apples. So let me cut these puppies up real quick. So I'm just chunking them off. And I mean, like, probably into thirds or 4 cuts, depending on how long they are. I want them kind of thick. So you want them about 1 inch wide, because you don't want them getting too, still got seeds. You don't want it to get too mushy. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just throwing that one away. That doesn't look pretty at all. So cutting them this way, for one, it'll take less time for them to cook down. So it's not going to take us all night for this to get to the temperature or to get to the state that we want to get in. So right now I'm going to go ahead and get these apples cored. Okay, that was juicy. I got an eye full. Yep. Okay, so doing this allows me to get the seeds and the core out, because on my first batch, I just quartered an apple that I had. I stole one from my husband. He takes 2 apples every day to work with him in his car. He works out of his car. And so his breakfast is generally a couple of apples. But I stole one from him. And so last night when we went to Walmart, or on the way home, he bought me my own bag. So, yay. These are those apples. So this is the easiest way, I think, for getting the seeds out. So when you get to this point right here, you want to make sure you get all of that shell. I don't know exactly what to call that, where the pod of the seed is. We want to get that off. We don't want that. So if there's that crunchy seal, I guess you would call it, that inner casing for the seeds, we want to get that off there. I just dropped one of those, and there goes my dog, Winston. He is a salad dog, and let me tell you, he loves apples. And there's no 30-second rule with a 2-second dog. So he got himself a Honeycrisp this morning. So now you can use any apples. It doesn't matter. You can use tart apples. You can use and honestly, you know what? If you don't have access to an orchard, which in Missouri we lived down the road from an orchard, and I would buy their produce because our local grocery store, which is a chain, would sell their produce from the store. You walk in the door and there is the local farm, and they would let you buy their big bags. I would get big, huge bags of apples, and they were amazing. But if you can get local produce, it's always better to buy local. Always better. Now, see, this one has the whole seed, and this is the part we want to get at. We want to get out of here. We want to get rid of that. So, and I have a bad part on this apple. I'm going to cut that off too. This just makes it easy to get all these off. But yeah, use local. It's, for one, there's no preservatives, there's no additives, there's nothing put in there that's going to make it keep its color. So you don't have all of that, all those chemicals on it. Now, these being from my local grocery store that's down the road, I did wash these with a vegetable mix this morning. Now, when I say like a vegetable mix, I have a cleaner that I buy at the grocery store that you can use on produce that will get all of those the wax off of your apples or off of your oranges. That's what makes them look shiny and pretty, y'all, is they put a chemical on there that makes those apples glisten, especially your Red Delicious, your Galas. You know how pretty they look, or the golden apples, Granny Smiths. Oh, they just shine so pretty. That is a chemical. You want to get that off. So grab that bottle, and most grocery stores have it right there in the produce section. Grab that bottle of veggie cleaner, or Google it. Make sure you have it, because grocery bought produce, you want to get all of that off. Okay, so I have my zucchini, I have my apples. I am not cutting down these apples. They're going to go just like they are from the slicer. We want to have all of this get blended in together. So I'm going to put all this behind me in my crock pot, and then we'll judge and see if I need to add any more apple juice. So let's go over here. So I am going to bring it up just a little bit. So let me scoot this over. Y'all see my crock pot there? Okay. It's hot over here, so I still have my warmer on my tea kettle. So putting off some heat. So I am going to throw several layers. I'm going to start this with layers of the zucchini in the bottom and try to get as much of that zucchini in the bottom of this as I can. And then I'm going to add some of my apples. Probably, you know what? I probably, hindsight being 20/20, I probably should have put them in separate bowls, or just left them in the bag. But that's okay. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to put some of the apples in now. And we're going to layer this all up. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to add more juice. Now, this is going to make a juice. It's going to pull all the water out of your zucchini and out of your apples. So we want to, oh, this is great. I got apples off. Okay. I hope I can put the lid back on. It's kind of full. My last batch I did, y'all, it was not quite that high. Because, y'all, that is some high. That is a lot of zucchini.